It is 2 minutes past 5 by my clock. So I'm 2 minutes late, and I'm going to apologize for that because I have made a pledge to myself that I'm not going to be doing that, that I'm going to be making sure that I am on time. I'm working on being on time. Um, I'm going to explain to you why. Castro, well, welcome. I said girls, but thank you. Thank you for being here. Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to Elevation 2023. An invitation for Montserrat women, for women of Montserrat, women who love Montserrat, women who have Montserrat in their heart, whether you were born here or not. I made this, my name is Shirley Osborne, and I put out this invitation today because because some things have been on my mind, and I've been talking to people about them, and people have been talking to me because I think the same things are on the minds of so many of us passing through. Well, thank you for stopping by. The same things are on the minds of many of us. And in addition, I had an experience last week that just sort of crystallized things for me. And I wanted to talk to some people, and the people to talk to are the women because it concerns the women, and because, like it or not, women always, the onus is always on women to fix things. And so let me just prop this thing, looks a little bit lopsided. I have it on magazines and so on because it doesn't fit on the tripod. There you go. That's a little bit better. So let me jump right into this. If you are watching me now, fine. If you're watching me live, thank you. If you're gonna catch up later, that's just as well, because I'm going to be posting these. I'm live on YouTube, on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, and and it's going to be posted on my social media after this, as well as on the website, on the shirleyosborne.com website. So let me jump right into this. I specifically invited women of Montserrat and women who have Montserrat at heart because this is an issue about Montserrat. I specifically invited women because, like I said a little bit ago, like it or not, women always are expected to perform in certain ways and do certain things. And sometimes you just kind of have to go with what is and seek the solution that's in there. So let me tell you a couple of things that are going on with me. One is I have been organizing an event for the end of the year. As any of you would know, all of you probably do know, I have been working with women has been my job. Working with girls and women has been my work, my actual work, and my vocation for a very long time. Mostly because I have experienced so much. Hi there. Mostly because I have experienced so much of the discrimination, for a better term, that women encounter. And I use discrimination guardedly because, it just is, sometimes it's not even discrimination, it's not intentional, it's not blatant, it just is the way the world works. And some of the things we just have to work with. We fix what we can, and we learn and teach as we go. And sometimes you just have to work with what is. And this is one of those times when I think we just have to work with what is. I am up for that because the solution is important. It is important that we find a solution. It's most important. So I've been working on Elevation 2023, which is a personal development program, coaching program, leadership program for girls and women. And the plan was that I work right throughout the year with women, and then on All Year's Night, have a fete here in Montserrat at Little Bay. And the idea of a fete was just because All Year's Night is one of my favorite nights of the year. And it is a good time to start things and to end things and prepare yourself and move forward. And because it's the new year, and because it's festival, and because family are here and all that. So I put all those things together. And I thought All Year's Night would be a good time to do a celebration, a party, a fete. Montserrat and women just celebrating ourselves. And I say this because over the years in Montserrat, I have encountered so much of not celebrating, so much of not necessarily malicious, but just, women are taken for granted. We take ourselves for granted. And because out in the wider world, people are talking all the time about women and about valuing women and supporting women and women supporting one another and societies and communities supporting women. And then I come home and I don't hear much about that. And when I speak about it, of course, they say all kinds of things about me. And so I wanted to do this celebration end of the year. One, just to celebrate Montserrat women, just so we could party together and celebrate one another. With the men, of course. I mean, going to a party all year is not, we don't want to go alone. We go celebrate with men, women, everybody. And also because I wanted it to be a celebration of some accomplishments that I was working on and that I'm inviting other people, other women to work on throughout the year. And three, because one of the things that Montserrat has lost over the years is our institutions, things that just happen every year. You know they're coming, you expect them, you plan for them, and they're built into the fabric of our lives. And one of the things I remember as a child was watching my mother get ready to go to the Endeavor Club. All year's night at the Endeavor Club was a fete, was a party, and the adults went. And I used to lie on my mother's bed and watch her getting ready, and my father getting ready to go to. My father didn't dance much, but and then when he wasn't home anymore, my mother would go with her friends, get dressed, and my mother put on dresses with slits up to here. Yeah, teacher Elder used to wear slits up to way, way up, and silver shoes and silver purses and wigs and all kinds of things my mother used to pull out to go to the all years dance at Endeavor Club, all years night dance, midnight dance at Endeavor Club. And in my own lifetime, you know, I go to Belly Night and them have their party. Sometimes I'd go, sometimes I'd get invited, sometimes I didn't. Um, we would have some of our own. And when I'm overseas, there's always something too. There's always some celebration. When I was living in New York area, I'd go into New York City or somewhere. And I know that in Montserrat we have all years night parties that still happen. But I also remember going to one a few years ago. Three of us, three adult women, got all dressed and went on to Good Life and realized everybody there was 20 years old. Where my nephew was the one to say, Auntie Shirley, good evening, because he was collecting the money at the door. I thought, okay, maybe we should not be here. But mostly because I wanted a celebration for women. I wanted us to begin to recreate some of our institutions, things that people look forward to, things that matter, things that help us get through the year. And also because some of you might know that throughout my life, everything I've learned, everything I've done has always been in the back of my mind. It has always been, how can I bring this home to Montserrat? How can I use what I gather around the world to add to Montserrat? And you will see it in much of the work that I do. And the All Years Night party is one of those things. I do this work that celebrates women around the world in all kinds of ways. I wanted to create something in Montserrat with which we could do that. And because it's attached to personal development and personal growth and accomplishments throughout the year, it just seemed perfect. That's one. Then in thinking of this and talking with my friends and people I work with, both here in Montserrat and overseas over the last few weeks, it crystallized how to add to it and amplify it and make it really, really work for Montserrat. And then last week, a friend of mine was here and we put our bathing suits on one afternoon to go to the beach. Decided to go to Little Bay. I don't normally swim in Little Bay because Buncombe Bay is closer, Woodlands is closer. And honestly, I like to be on the beach by myself or with just very few people. So anyway, we went to Little Bay. And when we got there, we saw cars all lined up by, hi Yvonne, cars all lined up by Good Life and along Little Bay. I thought, oh, what's going on here? And on the beach, there's a bunch of people. I don't know, 30, 40 people. You know, it could be more or less, probably about 30 or 40 people, mostly women. There were a couple of men. And I have to say, I was astounded. Last year, I was away and I watched, there was a exercise program being organized through I think a youth and sports, but anyways, at the sports complex. And it was set up for women who were overweight. And I watched it and I thought, you know, I keep being told, all my life I've been told, you too skinny, you too skinny, you too skinny. Hello, Nicholas Sander. You too skinny, you need to put on weight. I have muscle, but I've never been curvy. I don't have the curves that my sisters and so on have. But anyway, I watched those women in the sports complex, and when we saw these women a little bit last week, that's also what came back to mind. There were a bunch of women who were all, for the most part, almost all of them, overweight. Now I know, like I said, we like curvy and with good healthy bodies and sturdy, solid, but there's voluptuous and then there's everything else. And it startled me, it frightened me, because one of the things that has been really distressing me recently is, and like all of us, I hear people just are drop down dead all about the place. People just are drop dead, young and old, just dropping dead from all kinds of things. COVID, diabetes, hypertension. And I know the devastation that being unhealthy brings, both in just the quality of life and in grief for other people. My great grandmother, my father's grandmother, my father's mother, my father's sister, all died from complications of diabetes. My siblings are dealing with diabetes. I have managed to avoid it because I have been really, really careful about my work and about my diet and my exercise. And what I saw last week at Little Bay frightened me, because it was clear. It was clear to me that people had not been paying attention to their diet and their exercise. Add to that the quality of food that we get in Montserrat, or the quality that we don't get. We really do not get good food in Montserrat. White rice and pasta are things you eat sometimes. It shouldn't be what we eat every day. We hardly ever have proper food. And when we do have it, it's very expensive. Fruits are hard to get. Mangoes are in season. You can't even eat mangoes because they're full of worms. Guavas, you can hardly find guava trees nowadays. Breadfruit, when breadfruit is in season, fine. Soursop, full of blight. So there are all kinds of things that are militating against our being able to eat well in Montserrat. And I've learned over the years, I've heard it from doctors, scientists, physical education teachers, gym trainers, nutritionists, everybody, teachers, that the single most important factor in good health is diet, is how we eat. Add to that the fact that in Montserrat, add to the fact that we often can't get good food. Add to that when we do get food, it's contaminated with all the fertilizers and pesticides and insecticides that we spray on our food and in our things in Montserrat. We spray things on the grass to kill the grass, and then we turn it into the soil and plant food. Of course, the food grow with that in it. And so my heart hurts, to tell the truth. My heart hurts when I see and I hear about so many people being sick in Montserrat, and when I see them. Even I, who take such good care of my health, ended up in the hospital a couple of months ago. My blood pressure was off the charts because I was eating all kinds of salty stuff because I couldn't get to eat what I wanted to eat in Montserrat. I ate what was available, and it did a number on me. The doctor gave me a prescription for blood pressure pills. I didn't take them. Hope the doctor not listening. I didn't take them. I took them for a little bit, and then I stopped because I started going back to my exercise and my really, really trying to eat good food. And so half the time I'm not eating what I want to eat. Half the time I'm living on fish and nothing much else, because that's about all I can get. And only sometimes, right now you can hardly get fish. So all of these things that are militating against our good health. And so in thinking of Elevation 2023, and one of the things that we're working on in Elevation 2023 is health. Because health is so important. And it's not just Montserrat suffering from health. Other people have health issues. But of course, Montserrat is the one most important to me. And when I saw that group of people at the beach last week, I had to tell you, we decided not to go on the beach. We decided not to swim. We drove away because none of the two of us was fat, and we just kind of felt really funny. I felt sad. I felt worried because I see them, and I know the incidence of diabetes and high blood pressure, and I've seen so many people, heard so many people, and watched so many young people die from all kinds of diseases, Montserrat people, over the last few years, that it worried me, troubled me. And so I made a determination that out of Elevation 2023, I would offer the services of Elevation 2023 to some Montserratian women for free. For free. People outside of Montserrat, people who are coming to, who are being invited to Montserrat, people who are participating in Montserrat, in Elevation 2023 are paying. The early bird price, which started in January, was $30 US. We've moved that up to $50 US, and we've also added 6 days in Christmas, because I'm inviting people to come for all years night, and they're telling me, Shirley, come to Montserrat for 2 days. No. Do a program. So we're actually doing a 6-day program in December, from 28th of December to the 2nd of January. We will get to dance and listen to music and have fun amongst ourselves, and prepare ourselves to manage our health well going forward. So very briefly, let me tell you, Elevation 2023 works on 5 levels: health, style, so how you look. And look at my earrings. These earrings here are made by Justina, twin sisters. She makes these cool, funky, whimsical earrings. So I'm wearing 2 sisters in my ears. Look at this. Isn't this cool? Style, wealth, and by wealth, yes, I do mean money, as well as all of the other things, including health, because the most important part of health is what really is wealth. You can have all the money in the world and you're not healthy, your quality of life is not good. You could be healthy. When you're healthy, you have all the possibilities, all the opportunities to get wealth. So health, style, wealth, personal power. Because one of the things I'm aware of, because since I've been back in months, even before when I was coming back, and since I've been back, I've worked with young girls. I started the Girls Education Project in 2015. I worked with young girls ever since then here in Montserrat. I did the orientation week with children going to secondary school. Now I'm doing Montserrat Brain Trust. I'm dealing with children, and I'm seeing in young girls the effects of, don't do this, you can't do this, girls, don't do this, you ugly, you too fat, you too skinny, you too short, you too tall, light enough, you too dark, all of those things. I'm seeing the effect on Montserratian girls. Now bear in mind that these things affect not just the psyche, but their health. I know a young girl right now who's a child who eats for comfort. I've seen it happen. This is the third or fourth I've seen among the children I've worked with since I've been back in Montserrat in 2014. I'm seeing young girls growing up uncertain, lacking self-confidence, lacking self-esteem, and turning to things like food and other things to make themselves feel worthy and valued and valuable. And I see it playing out in the women. And I see how men take advantage of it. And I see how women also take advantage of other women who are like that. I was lucky enough to be brought up with 2 parents who tell me, my mouth broad. People tell school tell my mouth broad. My mother tell me, that's fine. You'll have your father's mouth. And tell my head big. My mother tell me, you got more brains than them. I had people who helped me develop confidence, self-confidence. The self-confidence to be able to develop positive relationships, because that's the other part of Elevation 2023. Health, style, wealth, self-esteem, personal power, and good relationships. Right now, I'm dealing with a situation where there's this woman I know who has a neighbor who calls her names. A male neighbor who calls her names for God knows what reason. I've listened to many Montserrat say things about women that just don't make any sense. They say they love women, but it's all part of how we have been trained. But the thing is, when you talk to girls and women like that, we grow up questioning and doubting and being uncertain and lacking confidence. And then it shows up over and over and over and over again. And it works against our health, both our mental and our physical health. So when I see overweight young girls, 10, 12, 15, 16, overweight and just eating and eating because that's how they salve the pain, it bothers me. And I am convinced, with beyond the shadow of any doubt, that we are so few, we can fix these. And each of us has to do what we can. What I can do, What I can do is involve some women, include some women in Elevation 2023. So at least some of them, because the other thing about women is that when we learn, we teach others. So even if I get 6 women, those 6 women are going to get 6 other women to look out for themselves and look after themselves. And that's how it grows. And that's how we support one another. That's how things have effect. I also have to say that I didn't do this before. I could have. I mean, I had Banika and I talked about doing soccer size classes on Saturday mornings. We talked about organizing walks for women to come on to walk with me, sometimes once or twice a month, just kind of begin to get a feel for their bodies and begin to develop a practice of their own. And I have to admit that I had not done it, partly because me know how much I won't stop. Me know I don't stop, but me, I don't stop with one another. I know that sometimes we are not helpful and gentle to one another. I know, hey Kate, I know that we are very often not kind, not loving, not helpful, not sisterly. And so, to be perfectly honest, lots of times, you know what? Yeah, I say nothing. I deal with children and I leave the adults alone. But when I saw those women on the beach on Thursday, it startled me. And I figured, you know what? You're either in it or you're not, Shirley. I can do something. I can help those women because I made my practice. And the reason I arrive at this age, I'm not going to tell you, but the reason I arrive at this age and I am still healthy and well, and my muscles are still strong and you can see them, and I'm not taking any medication for anything. Well, if you consider garlic and those things, medicine, vitamins and so on, medicine. When I go out, I mean, some children the other day told me they thought I was 20 and 30. They're children, so you can't excuse them. But I go to the doctor and the doctor says, I thought you were like 40. No, I'm not 40. I'm past that. But the reason I am healthy and the reason I have the energy and the vitality and the health and the body that I have is because I have worked at it. And if I can do it, other people can do it. I safeguard my health. I get up in the morning and I go walk. I posted a video this morning of me running. I got at 4:30 in the morning. I don't expect you to do that. You have children, you have work at 8 o'clock. I don't expect you to do that necessarily, but I expect you to take care of yourself. And so I decided to get over. I mean, okay, why you say, I can say what I like about me. I'm offering. You can take it or leave it. It's yes or no. I don't talk about me anyway. So, talk about me doing something. So here's what I call this quote unquote meeting. I need 12 women. I'm inviting 12 women to join me, which means call me. My number is 664-495-7976. 664-495-7976. If you live in Montserrat or you live somewhere else and you're concerned about just kind of general health, if you have medical issues, my advice is to get them sorted in anyway. But I can help you with the exercise and you're eating well and you're just looking after your body and your style and all of those things. Because what also happens, ladies, is when you got your style, it makes you feel better. When you look good, you feel better. And when you feel better, you do better, as in you eat better and you're more motivated to exercise and you do the things you need to do to keep healthy and well. So I am inviting 12 women, the first 12 to send me a WhatsApp or send me a voicemail or something. I want to join. You don't have to pay anything. Well, you got to pay for the party because we do it in the park and we have to pay for things. But for between now and the end of the year, between now and December 31st, you will talk to me. I will talk to you. We will work on your diet, your exercise. Sometimes we'll exercise together. Sometimes you will go to whichever gym or just do it by yourself. But I will check upon you and we will support. You will support each other. And then you can pass that on to somebody else, your children. Don't let your girls or your boys grow up unhealthy. So when you send them to Brain Trust, don't send them with corn curls. Don't send them with Cheetos. Find an orange, find an apple, find a plum rose, find a golden apple, find something. And all of this comes down to Montserrat. I intend to die in Montserrat. I intend to live in Montserrat until I die, and I don't intend to dead now. My grandmother died at 97. I have my grandmother's auntie died when she was 104. I intend to live and live like this and look like this for another 40, 50 years. Okay? You with me? And so I'm working on that. But for me, the more important thing is not just living longer. Living long is, if it happens and you're healthy and well, fine. For me, it is living well. Having the energy, the health, the mental strength, the vitality to live the life you want, do the things you want, whether you run around behind your children, make love to your man, whatever it is. Yeah? So, if you're interested, my number is 664-495-7976. Send me a WhatsApp, tell me, let's talk, and we will organize and we work together on this. Because diabetes, high blood pressure, death, not cool. Dying young is not cool. Dying from complications of blood pressure and diabetes, not necessary in many cases. There's something that we can do. I have managed to avoid getting diabetes because I've been careful. And I eat well. Trust me. I eat good. I eat good food. I eat tasty food. I eat rich food. I eat pretty much everything I want, including corn slices and ice cream. I mean, breadfruit. I eat the whole breadfruit at a time because I love breadfruit so much. I eat a big bowl of soup. I eat well. I drink well too. I look after my health. I look after my body to make sure my brain and my body function well. And I have the energy, the strength, the vitality to do the things I want to do, to love the people I want to love, to go to the places I want to go, to accomplish the things I want to accomplish, to fight the fights I need to fight. And if you don't think about it, my fight right now is for the soul of Montserrat. Soul of Montserrat won't survive unless we have healthy people. Healthy people. Healthy people. I can't help everybody. I could put out stuff that everybody could have. And I'm doing that through Elevation 2023. And the Brain Trust. I teach the kids in the Brain Trust about eating healthy and all, and make sure they do sports and stuff. That they take time to rest and meditate and chill and listen to music and all those things. And manage their hormones and their mood swings and so on. I can't do that for everybody. What I can do is I can work with 12 of you for the rest of the year directly. We talk every week, as often as you need to talk about your exercise. We'll exercise together sometimes, we'll eat together sometimes, we'll chat together sometimes about whatever we need to talk about to help you push to what's holding you back. And you don't have to pay me for it. So that's my offer. If you want to work with me, if you want to do something about your health and your energy and your strength and your style and all them cool things there, give me a call. Give me a call. Or just pop in at the gallery on Top Hill. And you have 3 days to do this, over the next 3 days. Between now and Saturday. Let me hear from everybody. The first 12 are free. After that, you'll have to pay me $100 a month. But the first 12, I'll work with for free. You have to pay me a thing. All right? So, in service. I'm Shirley Osborne. And I'm working for a healthy Montserrat. A bunch of healthy women. A bunch of healthy women who are going to dance all night, all years. Now, when we finish at the park, we're going to go down to Good Life, where whoever has the fit down there, we're going to continue and we're going to jump up and we're going to be healthy and well. That's what I want. So, let's do this. If you're interested, call me. 664-495-7976. I'm on WhatsApp. Send me a message. Give me a good time and we'll talk. All right? Take care.